Good evening, everyone. Actual Dracula here, and welcome to Casual Dracula here and now. I am excited. I've got a great show for you tonight. I will be joined by two of my fellow Fists of Khonshu as we will be discussing Moon Knight, the Moon Knight show, maybe some Moon Knight comics, talk about what we thought of the show. You know, what we think might happen in it, maybe some of our favorite comics. We'll see. Who knows? I don't have anything planned really. So without further ado, I will bring in Mr. Taylor Winder and
What's up, man?
TJ Flash by Night. What's going on, guys?
Now, so if Khonshu has 3 fists, that's a lot of fists.
Yeah, they added an extra one for the show.
The good old triple fister.
Yeah,
there's big fist energy.
big fist energy. Yeah.
I call this the Khonshu, and then the bird at the end.
Yeah,
Bam, bird.
Yeah. So the Moon Knight show, we all watched it, right?
Yes.
And personally, I really liked the first episode. I thought it was great. How about you guys?
I liked it a lot. I think Oscar Isaac's Cockney accent wore a little thin by the end. I was like, oh man, please make it stop. But but other than that, like I really liked it, and you know, I copied Ethan Hawke's hairdo, so
yes,
and I have glass in my shoes.
That was a thing, the glass shoes. But yeah. I enjoyed it. I went in not expecting, not trying to anticipate what was going to happen. Just kind of letting them do what they do and seeing what they give me. And I enjoyed it. I really did. I have a personal thing with. We'll get to that later. I have a thing with Khonshu. Excuse me, with Khonshu. We'll get to that later.
Okay, cool. And actually, yeah, before we get into it further, I did just want to say hi to the chat. Snoochie Boochies, Travis, Station. Travis says this episode really surprised me, which I guess makes sense since you've never read an issue of Moon Knight. About the character. That's good. I think you're gonna get a lot of people new to the character on board with this show. Quite possibly.
You know, I think that's a good thing. I was talking to somebody earlier. And because I recently got into comics, like in the last 5 years or so, and I mentioned that since I got into comics, like nothing really surprises me now when I watch these movies and shows, because I've looked around and kind of know at least a little bit about whatever character or movie or show it's coming out. So if you don't know anything about the character, I think it's a good opportunity to just sit back, like I said, and let the show give you what it's going to give you. And then later on, you can do some research and see how you felt about the show versus books. But if you don't have any kind of prior knowledge, just go with it.
Yeah. You're not sitting there picking apart how they got it wrong, right?
Right.
I mean, the nice thing about the Moon Knight character too is like, since he does have a dissociative identity disorder, like all the comics could be fiction, like they're all fiction, obviously, but like his story is malleable. Like every creator kind of does their own thing with him, and so like there's not really one set definitive version of Moon Knight, really.
Very true. That's also very true. Michael Baker, thanks for joining us here for the best intro on YouTube, and the show's pretty good too. Thank you. Yeah, sometimes. Yo, what is up, Wesley from Future Specs? Yeah, that's good. I aim to please. And then there's aliens.
The farting sound was from my actual butt.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Don't ask me how I got that recording.
And the car wreck was from me, I guess.
What's going on, Dave? Mark Spector Comics. Come on, read some Moon Knight, Travis. Absolutely. Yeah, definitely hoping you come back to. I'm thinking I'm gonna do one of these, at least maybe I'm hoping to do one after every episode. Maybe not like a full show, but like half an hour or something.
And I'm sorry, Mark Spector. Next week is Jake Loxley week.
Right.
Yeah.
Actually, I did want to. So mentioning Jake Lockley. Anyways, thank you everyone for joining us. That's an interesting thing I wanted to bring up right off the bat. From so maybe for me, the Moon Knight I'm most familiar with is the original Doug Mensch, Bill Sienkiewicz run.
Yeah.
And so that really kind of obviously this show doesn't start out with Moon Knight's origin. It's just you're just kind of thrown into the life of Stephen Grant, who all of a sudden starts hearing voices and has no idea what the hell is going on. So is there, you guys who I'm assuming you're both a little bit more familiar with some of the other runs, because I've read kind of bits and pieces of the other ones. I've read like the Warren Ellis stuff, some of the Jeff Lemire stuff. Do any of those kind of start off focusing on Stephen Grant? Because the Doug Mensch one, he's just one of the personas, right? It's really about all of them.
And in the Doug Mensch run, there's not even really clear whether or not it's even a dissociative identity disorder or if he's just acting as different characters. It's like,
that's right.
I'm going undercover as a cabbie.
I'm going as Jake today. Exactly. It's not clear. I mean, they kind of mention it briefly in like one panel, I think. But
I think I just read and then I happened upon it on Whatnot this weekend. But I just read that issue 27 of that original run was the first time that there was a kind of hint at the dissociative identity disorder. I guess one of the identities mentioned the other one as a different person.
Gotcha.
Right.
Yeah. I think that was, and that one I think they said that Doug, is it Mensch? Is that how you pronounce it?
I think so.
They said that Mensch had actually kind of taken off a couple of issues, so that wasn't his thing. That was the guest writer, and he had.
That sounds about right, because Mensch is not an outside the box thinker. Like his comics are always the straightforward shit. He did the most boring run of Batman ever, leading up to Azrael. I mean, he didn't really push envelopes a whole lot. It was like when Moon Knight started, it was kind of a Batman ripoff. Really, I mean, it was just kind of. It was a billionaire playboy that had a moon copter. But as far as I know, the runs I've read none of them had Stephen Grant as the focus. He was always kind of the side character, or the but in the comics, usually he's a billionaire. He's the billionaire playboy.
That's right. Yeah.
And it looks like they've changed that up, which is probably good.
They've taken a different approach here, which I actually really like. I like the fact that he works in a museum. He's surrounded by all this Egyptian stuff, which he studies, and it becomes, I guess it's hinted at that, like, is he studying that because he wants to, or because he senses something, right?
I mean, also, like, since we don't know, he's an unreliable narrator. Is any of this true?
Yeah, right.
Like,
that's true.
What's
up, Gene?
That would be really funny if we find out that at the end that none of what we're watching is true.
Yeah,
right.
But I'm thinking with Steven that there's at least a slight chance that they kind of at the end say, Steven, here's how you can be useful. Take this $20 million we've had hidden somewhere, and we're gonna make you into something.
Maybe,
and then kind of get back to the original plan. Or they could keep this Steven, which I don't mind.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I do like the approach they've taken. And I got to say, I really like Oscar Isaac. I mean, I do think he's a great actor, and he's kind of this position he's in where he's incredibly confused, paranoid, I don't know, just a total mess, and he's great at it. Didn't the Fist of Khonshu series take it more into the dissociative personalities?
I need to read that one again. It's been too damn long.
Yeah.
I don't remember. So.
Yeah, I was curious going into this how much how much the show would have to deal with that, and it's got into it right away. So now my question is from so near the beginning of the show, when he wakes up, in that field, and he hears this voice telling him to give the body to Mark. I don't know. What do you think that voice? I feel like, okay, one of the voices we know he hears later on is Mark Spector. This voice, though, was that Khonshu?
I think it's Khonshu because in the credits it says Khonshu is F. Murray Abraham.
Okay,
which I don't love that choice of him as Khonshu, but
I thought it was an odd voice.
Yeah.
To me, it sounded more like it should have been Jake Lockley.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I think you're right.
I didn't mind the voice, but I always felt like he was talking to someone else while he's talking to, because he's my favorite line of the whole show, the idiots in control. I felt like he was telling someone else that the idiot's in control. And that's kind of the way I felt whenever he's talking to Steven, is that he sounds like he's talking to someone else with Steven in the room.
Sorry, we're spoiling it all for you, but yeah.
I think he's probably talking to Mark Spector, right? That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, probably, but he's also just venting.
Yeah.
Like I said this backstage, and I might take it back, because I thought at first I was like, Moon Knight doesn't really have a definitive villain.
Mm-hmm.
But the more I think about it, the real villain is probably Khonshu. He's a dick. He's an awful god. He's like small-minded and petty, and like in the new Avengers run, he's horrible, and in all the comics he is too. He's just kind of like wants a meat puppet, and that's what Mark Spector.
So I feel like both of you have read the older run. And so when I started, the furthest back I think I've gotten is either the Houston run, starting at the bottom.
Okay.
Or is that run older than Bendis's run?
Yeah, it's older.
One of those two is
Houston's older.
One of those two is the oldest run, and I feel like every run since then Like Khonshu is like this terrible god, and Mark still serves him because every once in a while their two goals collide.
Yeah.
But Khonshu is terrible.
Well, there's also like there's a debate whether or not like Khonshu actually brought him back from the dead, and so like he might have the power to take away his life. So there's a bit of fear in there too. Mm-hmm. But like it's never really decided if that's true. Like really different writers have different takes on that. So
right, yeah,
but yeah, yeah, because I reread everything from Bendis forward this week. So I read Bendis and I read Warren Ellis's, and then that whole thing was Ellis and then Cullen Bunn. I can't remember who the other writer, and then Jeff Lemire after that. And like, yeah, they all had really different takes on the character.
Who would you say, or which run would kind of be your favorite at this point?
Probably the Jeff Lemire.
Yeah.
And then followed probably by the Ellis and that arc too, because like it did deal a little bit more with the dissociative identity stuff. Mm-hmm. And like I have a feeling the series is going to go like deal kind of with not the plot of the Lemire thing, but just the idea of like the multiple personalities have to learn to live together is going to, I think how this arc's going to go, like
right
in the show. But yeah. What's up, Ignacio? What's up, Comic Night? So little Easter egg. I don't want to take over this whole thing, but like, the gold guy he talked to, the posing statue in the show.
Yeah.
That in the credits, that's Crowley.
That's I was
yeah.
I as soon as I saw him, I was like, that's got to be Crowley.
Yeah.
And I felt like when he threw him a little money, a little change, or whatever he threw in his hat the first time, I felt like he called him Crowley or said something close enough to catch my ear and make me think Crowley.
I think it's possible. I don't know. I'd have to go back and watch it. But yeah, I kind of, when I saw him talking to this the gold guy, I was like, it's got to be Crowley.
Yeah.
I mean, why would they spend this much time of him talking to this guy? So
prove he's got no friends.
Yeah. I just got to do this real quick.
Papa Gordon, you Hulk. My name is Ignacio.
All right. Gotta have that for Ignacio. And what is up, Sandy, the Comic Knight? Another huge Moon Knight fan. Just finished up a sale there. I probably bought some of my first Moon Knight comics from Sandy there. So
yeah, Frenchie.
Yeah.
Wesley. Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah, you know what? I didn't even catch that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. When he was flipping through all the Laylas in the phone,
mm-hmm.
He was the only other one person that called him.
Was Frenchie. Yeah, that's great.
Here's a question though. If anybody knows, because I just like calling him the champ. Does anybody know how to pronounce his last name?
Who?
Anyone? Frenchie.
Duchamp?
Yeah, I feel like it's probably Duchamp or something, but I just like calling him the champ for some reason.
Yeah.
I know that is not right, but that's what I call Frenchie.
Nice.
I'd have to agree. That's definitely it definitely makes the Doug Mensch run more interesting. I'll say. I mean, I love those characters, Frenchie and Crawley, and
Gina's two kids that he throws wantonly into danger all the time.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, just complete disregard for their safety. It's great. Yeah,
it's like, they're all going to London or wherever the hell they go.
They know the danger.
That's true. Yeah, I guess they're
like
old
8
enough.
and 11. I'm sure they're down for it.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's probably the same age as Robin in the comics, but whatever.
Yeah.
Only Moon Knight will definitely get his partners hurt.
Yeah.
So Yeah, I'm curious to see how that's gonna work as well. I'm hoping we get to see those two kids get thrown into you know some kind of terrible situation. Fingers crossed that episode 2 starts off about Oscar acting as Jake Lockley in a cab. Yeah, that would be great. I do really want to see Jake Lockley. I can only assume that we're going to get him at some point. Although from this first episode, I really do get the feeling that it's gonna focus on that it's possible we won't even see him, because if it's gonna focus on Stephen Grant and Mark Spector, maybe they'll just throw in Jake as like
I wouldn't be surprised if he was like an end credits at the last episode kind of thing or something.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
I feel like, and I may just be getting this from the Jed McKay run going on now, but I feel like Moon Knight is best suited to roll out really, really slowly.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need everything at one time. So if they wait until, I don't know, an end credit scene, or if they wait until his next appearance somewhere to use Jake, I would not mind that at all.
Yeah. One thing I really liked about this episode was the reveal of Mark Spector. So, when he's like there's the elevator scene, and then kind of like the last scene, the bathroom scene.
Yeah.
He is actually speaking to Mark, and he's like, let me do this, I'll save us. And it becomes clear that Stephen Grant has no concept, no idea who Moon Knight is, who Khonshu is. It's very clear that Mark Spector knows he's Moon Knight because he is Moon Knight, right?
Yeah.
Like that's interesting.
Also, I don't think, and I could be wrong, but I need to maybe rewatch it. I don't think there were any mirrors or anything of any kind in his apartment.
Oh, okay.
And because it sort of seems like when he looked into the mirrors in the bathroom and stuff, and other reflective stuff, there's a lot of reflection play in the episode. Mm-hmm. And I think at the end, when he was talking to the mirror at the end, it's like that's when Mark was able to break through. And it's like, let me take over. I got this. But
even the one bathroom with the one mirror in the house has like a curtain over it, like you're not supposed to know that a bathroom is back there.
Yeah.
That may be Mark's doing on purpose, but it feels like it's not just a bathroom that you would walk in. Hey, it's a bathroom.
Yeah.
It's a, hey, don't go over there in that dark corner, but I have a bathroom.
Yeah.
Another thing I really liked was just the transitions from him just waking up all of a sudden, whether it's on the bus or in the field.
Yeah.
I thought that was handled really well, instead of being like I thought that was like a really smart way of showing that this guy has multiple personalities, and he doesn't know like in the truest sense, in that when that switch flips, he has no memory of it whatsoever. He's literally a different person. So it's very clear, as opposed to like the Doug Mensch one, where it's not clear whether he's just playing a character. It's like, yeah, he's a totally different person when this thing happens.
Yeah, I think it helps that they really made Oscar Isaac look tired all the time.
Yeah,
because it's like as soon as his eyes close, he's off on a fucking adventure.
Yeah. Yeah. And you notice at the very start of the show, at the very jump, as soon as he left his apartment and ran into the guy selling brooms outside, he was talking about not knowing what's going on, but he felt like he woke up feeling like he got hit by a bus all the time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
like he has no idea that he's been out either kicking butt or getting his butt kicked every night.
Yeah.
like, where are these bruises coming from? And the part where he wakes up and his jaw is like this far over. What happened?
That was fantastic. Yeah.
I guess when you jump out of a window, that's probably likely to happen.
Mr. Knight. Also very.
At first I wasn't sold on the Moon Knight costume in the show, but it has grown on me. Like the fact that they turned it into like mummy wrappings kind of look. I think it helps. I mean, Marvel shows always do that. They always make the costumes a whole lot more complex than they are in actual comic books, and like not just spandex tights, which is probably good because nobody looks good in just spandex tights. But like,
it's true. Yeah.
The one. Okay.
I was just gonna say I mean, typically I'd say the more realistic approach to those costumes is, add some things to it. It kind of that can help a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember I was at work today, and I remember when the leak of that costume first came out, the leak of the bathroom scene.
Yeah.
And everybody hated it, and this is the worst thing in the world, and this show is going to be terrible, and look how the costume looks.
Oh.
All right, spoilers. We're going to have to wait.
Awesome. Oh, Frozen.
Yeah. But yeah, it seemed like overwhelmingly negative at first response to the costume when it just leaked as photos and stuff. But like,
yeah, I guess. Hey, what's going on, Eddie? Thanks for joining us.
All right, not everybody hated it, but yeah, it took a while for me. But then when I saw how it formed on his body and stuff, I'm like, yeah, all right,
it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I do think the Mr. Knight costume was cooler, but
Yes, yeah. Also, really liked Khonshu. I mean, that's like straight off the pages. I'm sure TJ will be back. He's just having some technical difficulties.
Yeah, Khonshu looks great. Again, just the F. Murray Abraham voice is just bizarre for that. But like,
it was definitely an odd choice. Not very Egyptian god sounding.
No, not. I mean, I guess if you did something with an Egyptian accent, people would be like, "Well, that's racist." So I don't know. Maybe they just picked. We'll go with a harmless voice that could read you an audiobook.
You know who would have been a better voice for Khonshu? Oscar Isaac. If he had done the Apocalypse voice, that would have worked for Khonshu.
And that would have probably added to the idea of maybe it's all in his head, which would have been
exactly. Actually,
I'd have been down for that, for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, the look of him lumbering down the hallway at the elevator scene and stuff, it's like, hell yeah.
Then again, it might have reminded people too much of that terrible Apocalypse movie.
Yeah, good point. Yeah.
But I think it would have been a more appropriate voice.
Okay.
All right.
My phone hates me.
Well, you were saying, I guess you're talking about the costume.
Oh yeah, I was talking about how people hated the costume when the first stills came out of the bathroom scene.
Yeah.
And you kind of fast forward a few months later, and people actually see the real costume and have warmed up to it. Mm-hmm. I'll say that.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely have, especially seeing it in action. I think it looks great.
But the MCU kind of has that, because they layer so many things across their actual photography that if you see a photo of something they did, it is not going to look that way by the time it gets on screen.
Very true. Yeah.
No, I thought it looked pretty good. I mean, I kind of sold on it after, because like the whole idea of him wearing white in the comics is so the bad guys see him coming.
Yeah.
Without,
I don't doubt we'll find that out here also, but the white, the fresh out of the package, white socks, white. would that if he got in a fight with that, and then it always stayed clean, that would bother me.
Yeah.
So having a kind of off-white costume, especially with the bandages and the kind of, I guess, a little bit of mysticism mixed in, kind of works.
Maybe in this version, Jake Lockley is a dry cleaner.
Maybe
that's another way to keep your ears to the street. What have you heard? All right, how many suits do you have?
Yeah, exactly. Actually, in the early Moon Knight issues, Doug Mensch always described him as being silver, right?
Oh,
like jet and silver, like jet black and silver, which would be interesting choice. But
I was about to say, I want to say on the cover of Werewolf by Night 32, it says something about the silver-clad assassin or a silver-clad killer or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But that's a really weird intro to the character, anyways, because that's a whole different kind of origin. If you read it, it's just kind of like, oh, we hired a mercenary and we gave him this costume to go fight the werewolf.
Yeah, and that was like the what were they called? The committee or the commission? Or something like that.
Yeah, the committee.
The committee, yeah.
Yeah.
Which they do appear, I guess, a few issues into the Doug Mensch series, and do mention that we hired this guy, to hunt the werewolf, right?
Yeah.
But I always wonder how far into Moon Knight's actual series was the Werewolf by Night story supposed to take place.
32 issues. I don't know.
32. I don't know.
Okay.
I think still probably pretty early. But I haven't really read all of Werewolf by Night. But like in that I read that issue recently just to kind of catch up on it, and like that whole thing is the werewolf struggling with being a werewolf. Like, and it seemed pretty early into it. Like he just kind of hurt somebody for the first time as the werewolf, and then was dealing with it and wanted Moon Knight to kind of kill him at some point. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in this issue 29, he reaches out to Moon Knight, to being basically saying, you got to help me. The committee's hunting me incessantly. Meet me at this place, and that's actually a pretty good story. I like that issue 29. It's issue 29 and issue 30, I think. The Werewolf by Night story. It's one of my favorites in that run for sure.
Yeah, I needed to jump back in. Like the first one was just rough, and like I needed a break, so I jumped ahead. So,
yeah,
I'll go back and read. I'm reading them all digitally too, which is like also good and bad. But
yeah, same here. And I think I'm gonna go ahead and start reading the Lemire run, because I only read a couple issues of that, and I would like to read the whole thing.
It's a pretty quick read.
Yeah.
It's Lemire, so it's sparse on the dialogue, and there's not a lot of exposition dumping kind of stuff. You can probably bang through it pretty quickly.
Yeah.
What I like about that run is different artists sort of portray the different personalities, and it kind of helps add to the tonal shift there. Which it's not the craziest idea. Never mind. It's a good visual trick, I thought. So
I did just recently read the Warren Ellis, the 6-issue Warren Ellis stories.
Yeah.
I thought they were great. Despite who wrote them. Declan Shalvey's artwork's fantastic. But that reminded me very much of the current Jed MacKay series.
Yeah.
Very similar, kind of like a new Creature of the Week sort of feel to it,
Yeah.
Which I really like.
And that didn't really delve a lot into the personalities and stuff either. It was just kind of
no, it didn't.
Like, I'm the Moon Knight, I'm badass.
Basically, yeah.
Which is like the Jed MacKay run. It's not, they haven't really delved into the personalities much at all either in that. And he's not driving around limo, but
and I think he has plans to.
Yeah.
But like I said, I think he's really, really taking it slow, and I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think they do need to set up kind of an overarching bad guy in that arc, in the new arc. But
yeah,
there's the other Zodiac's going to be it. But like, yeah. But I like that.
Could Jed McKay be the guy to finally give him like an arch nemesis? Because
I think so. I
Moon
hope
Knight doesn't have that, right?
Yeah.
So
and he's got this sort of I like the Hunter's Moon quite a bit too. The other fist kind of shoe. That's a nice idea. Like, yeah.
And I do kind of like, even though I don't think he's gonna stick around long, I do kind of like the Zodiac character he's playing with.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a few issues behind on that, but
whoopsie.
Oh
no, that's fine. Yeah, I like to collect a few issues and then read them all at once. But yeah, I've really been enjoying that. But back to the show, I did want to talk about Ethan Hawke's character.
Fucker stole my hairdo.
Arthur Harrow, right? That's the name.
Yeah. I think everybody's spec went down the toilet after this episode. That's fine.
Yeah, that's totally okay.
He's not the Sun King, and that's like it's just that he's not doesn't sound like he has anything to do with Ra.
Yeah.
So.
Even right before the episode, I heard people saying, "Oh, maybe he's Dracula." It's like he's not.
Dracula. They're not. They wouldn't do. They wouldn't introduce Dracula.
Yeah.
Like because then he would owe Moon Knight his money.
Yeah,
that's right. Totally. Yeah, you'd have to pay up. Yeah. Pay up. He owes.
No, I remember. Maybe a week before the premiere, they started putting out little minute clips of things in the future, and one of these clips was kind of a chase fight in this tomb with whoever Layla is, and Arthur kind of takes his cane and hits it on the ground, and the ground opens up, and a creature's about to come out. Like, that is not the Sun King. People are gonna really be mad.
Yeah.
And when people get mad and their spec goes down, I am going to buy me a couple of more 188s.
Yeah.
For when the real Sun King shows up.
And so spoiler alert, he is basically the, I guess, like avatar for Amut, the Egyptian god, who is in
Lemire's run a lot.
But as Dr. Emmett, right?
Yeah, so they combine like 4 different characters. And and because Arthur Harrow is a cult leader, kind of. And then there's the Sun King's also kind of a cult leader, and then Dr. Emmett, Amit. And so like they made their own bad guy for the show. They're like, fuck it. Like
look, I guess like a combination of things, which is okay. Yeah, that's true. I like that too.
And it's
that's usually a trick for your long form 22, 23 episode seasons of TV, because they usually don't have that much in the can.
Yeah.
I think Marvel already has everything in the can, and they're like, nope, you get one episode trailer. Maybe 1 or 2 stills from episode 2 in the trailer. But mostly in episode 1.
Yeah, I like it. Personally, I like surprises, and so I'm hoping to see some things that I'm not expecting. Speaking of trailers, I don't know if you guys watch Picard. I just started watching the 2nd season. The trailer for that, I don't know why they decided to ruin 2 perfectly good surprises, I think, by putting these characters in the trailer.
I didn't watch the trailer.
Don't put them in the trailer. Just let people watching the show be like surprised that this person shows up. It's like, no, they're in the trailer. I guess to get people who, to watch. But yeah, I prefer
I felt like we learned and gotten past putting everything in trailers. This is 2022. Don't put everything in the trailer.
Sony puts everything in the trailer for all their shit.
No.
And like Marvel tends to, but like I think with this show, they realize it is a mystery of a show. So like, you know, they're like, you know, in order for this to work, the audience has to go along for the ride and figure it out as Stephen Grant figures it out. You know, like if we all get ahead of it, it's gonna be real fucking boring. So
yeah,
like,
Well,
I do get the sense. Sorry, I was just gonna say I do get the sense that everything you need to know about Morbius was probably in the trailer.
Yeah,
so
it's Jared Leto and it sucks.
Other watch.
Like, it sucks like a
but that was
vampire.
kind of how Shang-Chi's trailer was. Shang-Chi's trailer, 90% of it just focused on a little bus fight.
Yeah.
And didn't tell you much of anything else.
Yeah.
So I feel like they're learning. I don't know about everybody else.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm giving everybody else credit for Marvel.
I don't know. Like the Doctor Strange trailer, I mean, I could be wrong, but it seems like the Doctor Strange trailer's showing a whole lot of that movie though. So
I wonder if that's to distract you from something else they're really cooking up in the back. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, hopefully.
True. Yeah. Could be. But yeah, like Morbius showed the whole.
I mean,
movie,
they've pushed Morbius off for like 3 years. There's no chance in hell it was going to be a good movie. Like we're going to release it on April Fool's Day because we don't care.
You're dropping on April Fool's Day.
So yeah, that in particular has me so excited to see the next episode because basically the only Moon Knight shots we get are what we saw in the trailer. We got nothing else.
Yeah.
Which is just them kind of just giving you a little taste, right? So
yeah, it's the first bump.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I'm immediately hooked. I thought this was just a really great first episode. So so back to Ethan Hawke's character. Pretty intriguing, I'd say. I don't know what kind of his end game is, but I thought that was interesting when he, put his hands on Stephen Grant and that did that whole you have chaos in you, like he doesn't know who he is yet, but I think he'll find out. Yeah, this guy's Khonshu, and
his little scales didn't know how to react. They're like,
no, yeah.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't end up being the big bad guy,
Yeah.
That all could be a misdirect too, just kind of.
Yeah.
Right. It'll end up being Mephisto. Right? Yeah. Mephisto's coming, everyone.
Or that dead skier guy, the guy that died in the ski accident or whatever. That's
the
Midnight Sun or whatever. Midnight Rider. Blue Midnight.
Midnight Man. I think it's Midnight Man. Is it Midnight Man?
I can't remember. There's so many. Let's go with Midnight Man. Sure.
Isn't he just a dual thing? I forget.
Might be.
I don't know.
I don't know any skier. I don't know.
No, the actor that played him died in the skiing accident.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. Midnight Man?
I think it's Midnight Man.
Yeah. Right. That sounds about right.
Yeah, Midnight Man. Yeah. Oh, it was a brain injury he died of. Sorry. Apparently is what is ruled. I did the Googles.
Oh, there you go.
Google is your friend.
Yeah.
This is weird. For some reason, my bottom comment is hidden on here. Oh well. But hello, one shot. Anyhow. Yeah. Well, what do you guys? How many episodes is planned for this?
6.
6.
Yeah.
So that's not a huge amount, right?
Not really. This one was like 40 minutes long, so
yeah,
I'm looking at like 2.5 hours, which is kind of
basically a movie, right?
Yeah.
I did. I do think the last episode, and I don't know if there are plans, if they're kind of coinciding plans, but I think the last episode airs the same week as Doctor Strange comes out.
Right. Yeah. I think you're right about that.
Now, I would love for there to be some kind of loose tie-in there.
Yeah, maybe some kind of connection. Maybe we get an after credit scene that goes directly into Doctor Strange somehow. I could see them doing that.
Well, you know, since the Spider-Man post-credit scene was literally Doctor Strange's first trailer. Like, wait a minute, is this what we're doing?
Yeah,
the post-credit scene is just a trailer. What?
Yeah,
like, we're not playing around. Whole trailer. Let's go.
yeah. They're like,
yes.
Sony does know how to do like creative little teases. They screw them all up when they try. So
yeah, the Venom one was I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, like one of the better ones was just when the Avengers went and ate shawarma. So like,
yeah, that's true. That's true. You don't have to like. Doesn't have to.
It doesn't
be
have to push things
reveal
forward.
or anything. Yeah. Yeah. That.
So what you're telling me is that I was right. That what's the song in the Captain America musical? What's the song?
I can
do this all day.
Yeah.
That nobody. I felt like nobody besides me in America, maybe in Canada too, like that as the post-credit scene to Hawkeye. But I watched it like 3 times. I enjoyed it. And people are like, that is terrible. That is not a good post-credit scene. Like, what do you want? What do you want?
I think it fit for that type of show. It was a lighthearted show. It wasn't really.
Yeah.
I mean, it had its deep moments, but it was just like an adventure romp. You know, it was Die Hard.
It's just we'd been spoiled by all these, character reveals or like hints at things that sometimes never show up. Like
they're like, we want more and more. I'm like, no, just relax. If they give you something funny, take it. If they give you something serious, take it. But relax, we'll be okay.
Yeah.
Besides, you guys let Captain America come out on this white screen after Homecoming and make fun of you for sitting around for the post credits.
Yeah.
Cooler for Yelena was sitting in the crowd at the musical. Yeah. That's a good point.
But see, then you take away from the musical.
So are we going to get another musical at the end of Moon Knight then? Is that your theory?
It's just going to be Oscar Isaac singing in 3 different parts.
Yeah.
That would be funny.
No, I'm optimistic as far as the show goes, at least, which is not, I think it has potential.
Same here. And it's one where, because Marvel shows lately, it's questionable whether they do more seasons. Like when Captain America, when Falcon and Winter Soldier ended, I thought I liked the show, but if there wasn't a second season, I'd be okay with that.
Yeah. There's not, and probably same with Hawkeye.
WandaVision lends itself to being a one and done thing.
Yeah.
I guess they could do a second one somehow.
I mean, they definitely are doing another Loki, which makes sense, I guess. But...
Loki, that one makes sense, yeah. And this one, I don't see how you don't do more seasons, especially with only 6 episodes.
Either that, or it's really just a way to get the Moon Knight into a movie or something down the line. But
that's what I feel like. I feel like these shows are springboards for some of these characters to make their way into the main story.
Yeah.
Right.
I still do think that like there probably will be at least a hint of like setting up the Midnight Suns at the end of all this, Either like a tease on like Blade again or Ghost Rider or something like that. That's my guess.
I mean, I was just such a huge fan of how they handle it with the Netflix series, in that they rolled out Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Punisher, Luke Cage, and then brought everyone together for the Defenders.
Yeah,
I would love to see them do something like that again.
Yeah, but shorter. I mean,
shorter. Yeah,
yeah, which is good. Like because like some of the Netflix Daredevil is awesome. A lot of the rest of them really dragged on. Like
that's true. Yeah,
so,
yeah.
And Iron Fist was god awful. So
yeah, I couldn't get through that.
And then the Defenders itself wasn't that good. It wasn't.
It was okay, but it wasn't great. Yeah.
I did like the first season of Jessica Jones, but I think that was mostly because of the villain. So
because of the Purple Man.
Yes.
Yeah. It's just bring back David Tennant and have him play every villain.
I still want to. I don't know about the whole show's worth, but I still want to know what happens to Luke Cage, being the kingpin by the end of the second season, or kingpin-ish. I won't pin kingpin on him, but he was like the head of the crime families in order to keep them at bay by the time the show ended.
Yeah. Yes, Punisher season 2 was way dragged. I loved season 1, and season 2 was such a slog. It was really not a whole lot happened in that. So. But that being said, I am. If there's one thing I want to see Marvel make happen, it's get Jon Bernthal back as Punisher in something. A movie. He was great. So
he was really good at it.
And I would love to see him show up in something with Moon Knight, whether it's the Moon Knight show or in a movie. That would be great. But yeah, this is there's not much else to say about this first episode because it's really just an introduction to Stephen.
I mean, honestly, there weren't really a ton of Easter eggs that I noticed or anything. I mean, I think it was cool. I didn't notice that Wesley pointed out that if you hit and scan the QR code, you get a facsimile version of or digital version of World Planet 32 to read.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
that was great.
Yeah.
But like there's because it really was like this whole episode was just a setup. You're right. So it's like okay, I guess we gotta wait and see.
Yeah.
Now I paused the third time I watched it. I paused to look at all the books he was reading when he was trying to stay up at night. He had a book on Wakandan history and a book on Asgard on the table. As one of the books he was reading.
Yeah, maybe this will lead more into like Thor Love and Thunder with Gore the God.
Yeah.
So he's aware of things. That does make me wonder where this is in the overall timeline.
Yeah.
Like we assume it's present day.
Or 2025 or whatever. Yeah, that's what the present day model is. But I'm guessing I wouldn't be surprised actually, because you need a whole lot of gods to kill in order to get Thor Love and Thunder to make any sense with Gore the God Butcher. So like,
I totally forgot about Gore.
Right? Yeah.
Keep your hands off Khonshu, Gore.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll kill Khonshu, but or he won't stay dead.
Maybe that who will kill Ahmet. Right?
Maybe, yeah. And like the rest of the Asgard, like a lot of the other pantheons, probably.
It takes place after Hawkeye.
Okay. Was there anything in the show that pointed that out, or like that I just didn't notice, or? Because like so far there didn't seem to be any real ties to the MCU in it, which I'm not hating. I'm just.
Well, so it's in the MCU, but they've kind of branded it as the first show and character that don't spawn from the MCU events.
Yeah,
that's true. Hawkeye was also the first time we saw. Not the first time, because I guess technically that would be bringing Spider-Man in, but from Sony. But Hawkeye bringing Kingpin in, from the Netflix show directly. Yeah. That's that, and then of course Charlie Cox. I mean, that's just a huge tease. Like, just bring all of those characters in now.
No, not
and
Danny.
also speaking of timeline,
not Danny Rand. Yeah, we already have Shang-Chi, so
yeah,
we don't need him.
Danny Rand's been replaced.
Yeah,
but now speaking of timelines, I didn't know this until recently, because I had to go and buy Spider-Man No Way Home digitally because my wife didn't go when it first came out because family stuff. But I just noticed that as he's swinging around at the very beginning of the movie, there are posters up for Rogers the Musical. That's what I was trying to think of earlier. There are posters for Rogers the Musical in Spider-Man No Way Home,
which makes sense because they're adding the shield to the Statue of Liberty and stuff, so that makes sense.
Yeah, so it's pretty. So it and Hawkeye and Moon Knight are pretty close, and I don't think it's but like maybe 2 weeks between the start of the start of Long. What was the second one? Which home was that?
Far From Home.
Yeah.
I don't think it's maybe but a week or two between the start of Far From Home, and No Way Home.
Right.
Yeah, you're probably right. It's hard to tell. They don't really.
No Way Home ends like a month.
They did it on purpose. Like we're not dating anything anymore. They got caught in the rut. They got caught in a rut a little bit when they dated. They gave a date to Homecoming in reference to Avengers.
Yeah.
And people were. Did the movie say that was a 6-year difference? And people went and counted and saw an 8-year difference. One or the other. But I think they learned their lesson. They're not giving us dates anymore.
Which is smart, because then what year would you said, like 2025 or something we would be in, or maybe later, right?
Yeah, 2025 or 2026 now, maybe, because after Christmas, but like
it's best not to date these things.
Yeah.
This is actually, it's funny. I just read this the other day because I haven't watched The Simpsons in God knows how many years, a very, very long time. But The Simpsons has been on TV so long now, and of course they can't age those characters. They're always the same age. Maggie's always a baby. Lisa and Bart are always in elementary school. So, but to stay current and to be able to talk about current topics, they it's set in modern day. So they did episodes recently where Marge was in high school in the year 2000. Right?
Wow,
as opposed to the 70s when the show first started.
That is funny.
It's best not to just put dates on things like that, I guess. I mean, how that just goes for comics in general, right? I mean,
yeah, I need the ongoing stuff like that, sure, because that's good. Yeah. Well, now J. Jonah Jameson's a blogger, right? Or has a YouTube channel. So
that's right. Yeah.
With a little green screen behind him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and his own energy drink.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
What is it called? Jonah juice? Can't remember.
I forget.
If it's not, it should be.
Mustache Ride, the drink.
Yes. Yeah. So I don't know. You guys got anything else you want to say about this show?
No, I think there's not a lot not enough meat to really I mean, it was good. I liked it. I just don't think there's not quite enough to really dive into it yet. I think next episode we'll probably get there. We're like, okay, we're gonna learn a little bit more. We're gonna get, we got the finally the Moon Knight reveal, and so yeah, you're right, Wesley.
Yes.
There's not a whole lot to the show, but yet there's still a lot to the show. Like I still want a definitive answer to what is going on with the fish.
Oh, that fish died.
The fish.
That fish died because he was out of town for like a week.
Yeah, I'm assuming that Mark Spector replaced the fish because it died, or
And that's why the fish lady was like, "You were here yesterday. I told you yesterday. There's no fish."
Like, what time? It can't be the right time. I just woke up.
Well, like my thing is I wonder if the museum job is real, because he probably would have been fired long ago if he's missing many days at a time. So
that is true.
Yeah, that's a good
also
point.
his boss aggravates me.
Yeah.
I rarely want female characters to get off in a movie or show, but she may have to go. She is
yeah.
Like she was aggravating my wife. I'm like yeah.
Yeah, I have to agree with you on that one. Yeah, definitely do with that character.
Which means she's doing her job, but still.
Yeah. True. Yeah. Well, I think I might do this after every episode. Maybe just talk for an hour or so. If you guys wanna, you're guys absolutely welcome to come back and do that too.
Yeah, I'm game.
And I know. I think Dave's coming for the next one.
Nice.
And I imagine we'll definitely have more to talk about with the second episode.
Yeah, I'm thinking so. I want to see the moon copter.
Yes. Oh my god.
How does the moon copter? How does the moon copter work? I need an explanation.
I don't know, but it had two different designs that I saw in the comics. They were both goofy as hell. So.
Oh yeah. I'm not sure how either of them would fly, but yeah.
I mean, in one issue of the comic, because it's shaped like a crescent moon, and in one issue of the comics, in order to get away from bad guys, like Frenchie pilots a thing and pretends he's the moon. He hides it, which wouldn't fucking work if you're on the ground.
Pretends to be the moon.
That's
Oh wow. I watched a video earlier today of these guys, engineers, talking about how the bat signal, the bat signal like you see in the movies is just not possible. It's not going to work.
Yeah, light doesn't work that way.
Light doesn't work that way. But they built a working bat signal using incredibly high-powered LEDs, and the thing actually worked. But it only works if you're standing from the area you're pointing it at, because if you're 2 miles away and you're looking up, it's gonna look like a different image. And
anywhere in the city is gonna have so much light pollution you wouldn't be able to see shit anyways.
Exactly. But they actually got the thing to work to project an actual bat image onto the clouds. It's pretty crazy. Yeah.
On clear nights, there's no need for Batman.
No.
Batman needs.
And goldfish have a short memory. Yeah.
That's another theory I heard, that goldfish has a short memory.
Yeah, that's
a metaphor for Mark for Stephen Grant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, I think it might be a good place to end it. But thank you, gentlemen, for joining me, and thank you for everyone in the chat checking it out. Like I said, I think we'll do this next week. It's gonna come out at every Wednesday or
Wednesday, yeah.
Wednesday,
yeah. So I think I'm gonna do this Thursday nights.
Makes sense. Gives people a day to catch up, especially if you're reading all your comics that week.
Yeah. I'm glad because I always feel so left out. Like with movies, it usually takes me weeks, sometimes even months to watch these movies, and everyone else is talking about them, and I just I don't get to partake. So now that's it. I'm doing my own thing. God damn it! I'm watching Moon Knight Wednesday, and I'm talking about it the next day.
There you go.
Watch it,
Nice.
it's your fault. All right. So you know how I feel.
All right, I like it.
God, it took me months to watch No Way Home, and of course, by that point, I knew everything about the movies. So
I knew everything going into the movie on release day. Well, not. I was. You may as well say everything. One popular YouTuber, I won't call him by name, but one popular YouTuber put a still of Daredevil in the living room with Aunt May and Happy and Peter. I'm like, why would you
spoiler alert, guys? If you haven't seen Spider-Man,
okay,
it's too late.
But I'm like, why would you release that like a month before the movie?
Yeah, because they know it gets views and like.
I'm like, really? Like,
people don't care about being assholes as long as you get clicks.
Right. And you couldn't get away from the other two spider people.
Yeah.
I
mean, to talk about it now, it's like, it's been out for so long now. It's like, you should be allowed to just say this stuff openly. Absolutely.
Yeah. But you could get away
a week
from that,
before the movie. That's just, just being a dick doing that stuff.
hey guys, Darth Vader is Luke's father.
No, get out of here. What's up, Brad? Yeah, that's true. I've seen quite a few YouTube thumbnails with spoilers in them, which is a shame.
That's another thing. That's also, I don't know what people are thinking, or if they even care.
I don't think they care. Yeah, they're like, I've seen it. I know about it. That's all that matters. Which is what I'm doing with my Moon Knight show, guys. So, yeah. But yeah, it's true. I'm not big on spoilers. I try to avoid all that stuff as much as possible but eventually, you can't avoid it forever.
Right.
It's just when people do stuff like literally like that day or whatever. It's You have people.
I mean, there were people talking about Moon Knight on YouTube at like 8 a.m. the day it dropped. So I mean, it's like.
Yeah. But like I specifically said, like, this is a Moon Knight show. We're talking about Moon Knight.
Yeah.
I think it's clear, what's going on here.
Yeah.
Right. So
So don't watch this shit next week if you haven't watched the damn show.
Yeah, that's right. Or do by all means. Yeah. I don't care if you watch it or
there should be no if. You have like 36 hours. Come on now.
Yeah.
You don't need to go.
Listen, if people had a life, they wouldn't be watching comic book YouTube shows.
Probably, yeah.
So you could not watch a Wink unboxing and then watch Moon Knight, and then you're fine. He's already monetized. He's got plenty of views.
I know. Why?
I've got to go watch the Wink unboxing.
All right, there you go.
The amount of times, opportunities I had to watch Spider-Man, and I was at home watching DJ Lynx instead. What was I thinking?
Nobody knows.
Yeah.
I think that's why I can't read my books. Too busy trying to watch somebody.
Oh, dude, that is exactly my reason. It's like there's too many frankly, I think very interesting conversations about comic books that actually take me away from reading comic books. And
the only reason I'm disciplined about it is because I have my release schedule for my review channel for my reviews. But like otherwise,
which I also have to watch.
Well, read the books first, and then you can.
Well, I only get.
I don't spoil. And I try not to spoil anything in the books. In my reviews, I just kind of telling you why they're shitty.
Right. That's not a spoiler. It's a shitty book. Yeah.
Exactly. I got called out because I called an Iron Fist book very Iron Fisty. I'm like, well, if you read it, you'll know what I fucking mean. It's just an Iron Fist book.
Like, look, this must be your first time here.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's a guy. It's a regular. He was just kind of trolling me. I'm like, all right, fair enough. So.
Yeah. Okay. I think I'll actually end this now. But yeah, again, guys, thanks for joining me. Everyone, thanks for watching, and yeah, hopefully see you all next week after episode 2 of Moon Knight. Really looking forward to that. All right, guys. Till then, see you later.